Hi, YouTube. Merry, really early Christmas Eve. Alex here,
Domino
and this is Alex and Domino's.
Wrestling, in this case, tribute review.
And he's wearing my 5 6 summer beanie.
Yeah.
What the heck, Dad?
Hey, last night I was rocking your Jack Skellington. Tonight, yeah,
I don't
I
know.
stole your hat 2 nights in a row. Theoretically, this is still nighttime, but yeah, it's the next day now, considering it's 3:08 in the morning.
Oops.
Um,
Like I said,
so
Merry early Christmas Eve.
yeah, and last night was the 13th annual WWE Tribute to the Troops. 12/23/2015. So, of course, there was a show, and we decided to do one of my daughter's shows on it as well. Um, I gotta say that it's becoming kind of like an awards show now. I mean, they got all these stars, all these different NBC personalities, and I mean, there was like the people from I want to say The Voice, and I've seen all these people: Neil Patrick Harris, Wesley Snipes. I've seen a ton of people. There was a ton of people doing shout outs on behalf of themselves and the WWE as a tribute to the troops. So yeah, the show is getting to be kind of a pretty big deal these days. Um, the show started with JoJo, who is not only beautiful, but she has a great voice. She did the national anthem. It was pretty awesome. Um, and then the stars that kind of co-hosted or were there and not just doing these little TV spots were Howie Mandel and the band Train. I think Howie Mandel ended up doing a comedian skit somewhere in there, and Train performed 2 songs, I want to say. So yeah, it was a pretty big show, kind of with everything that was going on, right? Um, and I would say that the opening sequence definitely got the people going. You had Shield 2.0, Shield-ish, whatever you want to call them.
2.0.
Ambrose, Reigns, and the
Ooh,
Usos.
so.
Yep, they came down to the ring, and the League of Gations came down to the ring. The Wyatts came down to the ring. The Dudley Boys and Kane and Ryback came down to the ring. And of course, that then ended up being a brawl. And they ended up going to I don't remember if it was one or two, but there was definitely one commercial break. And then the announcers had announced that there was going to be a main event involving those people. So it was a 16-man tag team match in the main event, which is kind of crazy, pretty big. But all in all, fairly good show, right?
Yep.
Um, we had Rusev versus Swagger kick things off, and Jack Swagger finally beats Rusev with the submission hold. I say finally because I mean those guys battled so much when they were trying to push Rusev, and I
Put him
don't.
in the Patriot lock, and he tapped out for once.
Yeah, and I don't think that ever happened before.
Never.
So
He's came close, but he's never gotten it good enough to make Rusev tap out. That was the first time thing. First time for Swagger to beat him at all, I think.
yeah, um, so that was okay. And then we had Mark Henry pretty well. It was a little more than a squash match, but not much. I mean, he easily
I
pretty well
think
defeated Bo Dallas.
Mr. Bo Leave didn't last all of 5 seconds. He got to do his little victory lap thing when the match started, and then Mark Henry got a hold of him, and that match ended quicker than it started.
Yeah. Although Bo Dallas's outfit was kind of neat, you know, his little Uncle Sam outfit. He kind of looked like uh, a redneck rockette man. Um, and then the next match that we actually got to see was Ryback versus Owens, and you can pretty much guess what happened there.
He walked Owens walked, of course, and then Ryback obviously got the victory via countout. Now I'm happy Ryback won, but because of Owens walking, it wasn't the best victory. I mean, any day that someone wins the match against Owens is good, but not because he ran away like he likes to.
Yeah. Um, I only half-heartedly paid attention to that match. I've never been a big Ryback fan, but I'm not a fan of not really a fan of Owens either. But I think Owens is good for the company because I think he does his job. I mean, he certainly gets people like angry at him, so that's I mean he's being a good heel. But yeah, so moving on, we had I think the one of the matches you looked forward to, which was Team Bayad with Paige. Uh, they took on Team Bella minus Nikki and Becky Lynch and Charlotte. Um, who do we say won?
Team Bad and Paige won.
Yep, that's right. Team Bad and Paige. They they you know the women's wrestling has gotten a lot better than maybe it ever has been, but I didn't really think that match was all that great. Um, I don't know. It's just, I mean, it was all right. I mean, but it wasn't all that great. But yeah, it was still entertaining. You know, there's a lot of guys in the military, and when you're doing a tribute to the troops, you got to have an eye candy match. I'm sorry. So
Well, the outfits were Tamia basically looked like she should be some type of bouncer or something at a bar.
yeah,
Naomi looked like, and love Naomi, not currently, but I used to be a massive fan of her. But she looked like she was coming from the ghetto. Sasha Banks, don't know what was up with her there. Charlotte looked pretty cool, I guess. Paige, goth as always. Becky, her steampunk thing. Brie was in the Christmas spirit, and Alicia kind of reminded me of a sailor. Not really sure what was going on with that one either.
yeah, that was a little funny. I mean, I think that yeah, I don't know what the hell was up with that thing. It was kind of messed up looking, but so at least that was entertaining, at least for me, looking at their wardrobe. Um, and and then the last match of the night, and of course, like we said, I mean, there was a tribute to the troops, so there's a whole yeah, so there's a whole lot of stuff going on as far as um, different stars and stuff, you know, giving their thanks and
Too
uh,
many to count.
yeah, and of course they had Train perform twice, like I said, so there was a lot of breaks in between these matches, and um, but I mean, I don't know, the show had a good flow to it. Hell, they ought to do a tribute to the troops every Thursday instead of SmackDown. Um, but so then we had the main event, which was the 16-man tag team match with the Wyatts and the League of Nations taking on the Usos, the Dudleys, Ryback, Kane, Ambrose, and Reigns, um, which was, even though there was a lot of people in that mix for a lot going on, the match was still pretty good. And of course, as they winded down, there was a carousel of moves that pretty much was done to Strowman to take him out of the picture, which set up.
I kid you not. Everyone took a crack at him. It took. What was it? How did they finally get him out of the ring? I think it was Ryback that finally actually knocked him over the top rope. Before that, you had people kicking him and hitting him left and right. It took a lot to get him out of the ring.
Yeah, I don't remember who knocked him out during the match. I think Ryback did in the opening sequence when they had their little beatdown, but I don't remember. And you may be right; it might have been Ryback at the end too. But
I
uh,
think I want to say towards the end of their match, Ryback is who sent him over the top rope. Not
okay.
entirely sure.
And
Someone
then
did.
I know for a fact that Dean Ambrose picked up the pinfall.
Then we got to see Bubba actually like pick him up and put him on his shoulder, which is pretty funny. Dean just sitting up there like, yeah, I'm on top of the world. Well, I'm on Bubba's shoulder, but I'm close enough.
Yeah, he looked like a puppet up there. He's so small compared to Bubba.
Yeah,
Uh,
he is
but
very small.
anyway, yeah, that was the tribute to the troops. Um, Honestly, it was a nice little show. It had a really good flow to it, I thought, even though there was all the stuff going on. Uh, like I said, I can't say it enough. It it really flowed better than SmackDown to me. Uh, so I think part of the reason is, they get rid of all those promos and things that the wrestlers do, which, even though they replaced it with a lot of these vignettes and things and stuff going on about the tribute, it just, I don't know, it flowed better to me. So, but yeah, pretty good show overall. I think 1 to 5, this was, I mean, especially for it being a tribute to the troops, yeah, I mean, and even though there wasn't a lot of star power, I mean,
Star
like
power.
throughout, their the opening and the ending was pretty good. So I'm giving it a 4.5. About you?
Good. I mean, Raws didn't really come to fours most of the time. SmackDowns, kind of, some of them three, some of them four. Uh, that one might get for like four, close enough to almost five, but still four, because it was good. So maybe a little 4.5. Whatever way is closest to five without technically being a five, I guess. I don't know. It was good. So the Wyatt family, they really freak me out. I mean, if you wanted to see something that was scarier than Five Nights at Freddy's and even a demon, well, that basically was the Wyatt family and Kane, both very terrifying in their own rights. But that was an interesting match.
Yeah. All right.
I guess. Well, it's 3:20 in the morning. I don't even know at this point. I mean, the unboxing thing on Christmas, which is technically tomorrow now, I guess. Try to do that. What I mean by that is like I'll find like a select few gifts that I've unwrapped and like I guess be opening them, like unboxing them, taking them out of the box. Basically, is what I mean.
Well, I think everyone knows what unboxing means. They're genius. Okay, wrap it up. You're rambling. Blah blah blah.
um,
It's late.
Shush. Yeah, it's very late, so a video at Christmas Eve at this point, even though it's only 3 in the morning, it technically is still Christmas Eve,
This is what you
so,
need to do. You need to do part 3 of your Emily game. That can be a really quick Christmas Eve video for you.
yeah, I mean, wanted to do that one thing we talked about earlier, but I know I've been playing Emily's Way, probably just do part 3 of that, and may go ahead and give you part 4 as well, just to make up for the lack of doing that, even though I've done that past couple days, that day ago or so. But yeah, it's just really, really late. We're both really tired. See you tomorrow with Emily's Way Part 2, and not Part 2, god dang it, Part 3 and probably 4? I'm tired, I'm sorry.
Yeah, wrap it up there.
Okay, good night. Merry super early Christmas Eve. Peace. Are you happy with yourself for that? Bye bye.